It's now 6 o'clock. We will call the meeting to order for April 15th, 2024, Berkeley County Planning Commission. Sarah, can you do roll call, please?
Jim Whitaker, Linda Barnhart, Eric Goff,
Here.
McKenna Norton,
Present.
Tim Lewis,
Present.
Daniel Gant,
Here.
Michael Bush,
Here.
Ronald Truitt.
Present.
Thank you, Sarah. First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. There are no changes.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Goff, a second by Mr. Gant to approve the agenda for this evening. All in favor?
Aye.
Approve.
Aye.
Likewise for no. Thanks. I don't believe we have any governmental speakers for Sunshine Law, so we'll skip over that part. And the next item is approval of the minutes.
Move to
meetings.
approve. Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Goff and a second by Mr. Truitt to accept the minutes from the April 1st, 2024 Planning Commission meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Likewise for no.
Extension to absence.
Okay, we have one abstention to absence, Mr. Gant. We have two public hearings this evening. The first one on the list is Brookfield Lot 54.
Yes, this is a request for final plat approval. The project is Brookfield Lot 54 and Pumping Station Lot. Files 2402-052. The developer is Panhandle Homes and the engineer is Fox & Associates. It's located in the Falling Waters District, tax map 11, parcel 2.40. The site's located in the Brookfield subdivision at the end of Riparian Drive, northeast of the Crawford Quarry Road, Berkeley County Public Service Sewer District Pumping Station Lot. The developer is proposing one single-family lot on approximately 0.77 acres to be served by public water and sewer, and the developer is also proposing a 0.45-acre lot for the Berkeley County Public Service Sewer District surrounding their existing pump station. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends final plat approval. The infrastructure associated with these lots has previously been installed and no further public improvements are required.
You have anyone to represent the project?
Yes, good evening. Steve Sianovich with Fox & Associates representing the applicant.
Thanks, Steve. This is a public hearing, so if you have any comments on this project, you're invited to step forward and voice your concerns.
If there is no one, I move to close public hearing. Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Goff and a second by Mr. Gant to close the public hearing since we have no one to speak out. All those in favor?
Aye.
Likewise for no. Thanks. Planning Commission members, do you have any questions for Steve on this project?
There are none. I'll make the motion to accept staff recommendation. Final plat meets the requirements of subdivision ordinance. Therefore, I'll make the motion that we approve the final plat.
Second.
So we have a motion from Mr. Gant and a second by Mr. Goff to accept the staff recommendations for final plat approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Thanks.
Thank you.
Second public hearing is for Clarissa Lane Storage.
Yes, this is a public hearing for request for waiver. The project is Clarissa Lane Storage, file 2403-070. The developer's Panhandle Homes and the engineer's Fox & Associates. It's located in the Falling Waters District, tax map 7, parcel 173, and is located at the end of Clarissa Lane, which is east of Broad Lane and north of Interstate 81 and west of the West Virginia Welcome Center. The developer is proposing a 236-space storage lot for trailers and/or recreation vehicles on 15.73 acres. No utilities are being proposed. The developer is requesting a waiver to section 801.1.10 of the subdivision ordinance requiring all driveways which provide ingress and egress to off-street parking areas to be paved. The waiver request is typical of storage unit development plans, and staff recommends approval to the waiver with the following condition: that all stormwater management runoff volumes, quality and quantity are designed for the asphalt or concrete surfaces on all storage unit drives that are proposed to be gravel.
Do you have anyone to represent the project?
Steve Sianovich representing the applicant.
Thanks, Steve. Again, this is a public hearing. If you have any comments that you wish to speak out on this project, we invite you to come forward and share your comments.
I have a question.
You come up front, sign in and state your name for the record, please.
James Kimball, actually here with my mother. She owns property on Callista Lane. And the question simply is, if they don't pave, which I think we're okay with that, who maintains the road? Right now, my mom pays for gravel to put into the road to keep it kept. We do our own snow removal and everything like that. With the addition in traffic, my question is, who maintains the roadway? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Steve, you want, yeah. Well, let Steve see if you can answer that question for
There
the,
should be a exhibit in your packet. If you could all turn to that, please. You can see the darker shading on that exhibit is the stone surfacing that's proposed. The lighter pavement that's shown in like a gray type of hatch, that's hot mix asphalt that's proposed to create the cul-de-sac area. Clarissa Lane is a Division of Highways road, from what I understand. So the way the waiver request reads is we want to stone areas that are only on the inside or within the fenced area of the storage lot. Anything exterior would be proposed to be paved with hot mix asphalt. And we're in the midst of working with the DOH on getting the proper permits and approvals. So I can't speak to, any overlay requirements that they may impose to the developer, but we're kind of early on in the development that waiver would be the first item of action to be taken, because if we don't have success on the waiver, then it may be difficult to move forward into a sketch plan or preliminary plan. But to answer that gentleman's question, we're proposing to pave Clarissa Lane, a portion of which is off our property, but we are not proposing to pave it out the whole way to Broad Run.
that satisfactory answer your question in the back?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Any other comments from the public?
If there is nobody else, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Goff and a second by Mr. Can to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Likewise for no. Any commission members, do you have any questions for Steve on the project?
I got a question for Doug.
Doug?
So you are recommending that they asphalt or concrete the surfaces on or all the storage areas, correct?
No, we're asking that their stormwater management calculated the runoff. So if developer down the road wanted to come in and pay.
It would already be sized for it being paved.
That request is really normal and customary from any jurisdiction, that over time, if it stays gravel long enough, people run out there long enough, it's going to be pretty close to impervious anyway. So, we're certainly have no comment on that condition. It seems reasonable.
Same condition every waiver that we have for the gravel storage unit, have that condition. Requirements like there won't be any office area for parking requirement out
Okay.
Any other questions?
There are none. I'll make the motion. We accept staff recommendation. Waiver request is typical to storage unit developments. Plans, staff recommends approval of the waiver following conditions. Stormwater runoff volumes, quantity designed for asphalt concrete surfaces on all storage unit drives that are proposed to be gravel.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gann, a second by Mr. Goff to accept staff recommendations and grant the request for waiver of the paved area as long as it meets stormwater management. All those in favor?
Aye.
Likewise for no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
That's the end of the public hearings. We have, next item on the agenda is a preliminary plan approval, Project Green.
Yes, this request for preliminary plan approvals, Project Green, file 2309-319. The developer is Water Garden Farms LLC and the engineer is Greenway Engineering. It's located in the Arden District, tax map 15, parcel 24, and is located approximately 2,700 feet from an intersection of Winchester Avenue and Novak Drive on the south side of Novak Drive. The developer is proposing a 471,492 square foot hydroponic greenhouse with a 70,306 square foot support building on 30 acres to be served by public water and sewer. No waivers or exceptions have been requested. On March 1st, 2024, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance. The preliminary plan meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends advancement of the preliminary plan to the final plat stage.
Do you have anyone to represent the project?
Brooke Perry from Integrity Federal Services representing the applicant, and then
Kevin Stewart, Greenway Engineering.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Planning Commission members, do you have any questions for Brooke or, what was your first name? Kevin. On Greenway Engineering on this project?
What are we growing?
lettuce.
You don't need to answer that. I was just picking on.
It truly is lettuce.
I don't really care what you're growing. I'm just.
Like a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion, we accept staff recommendation, preliminary plan meets requirements of the subdivision ordinance 2009. I'll make the motion, we approve preliminary plan to the final plan stage.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Gant and a second by Mr. Goff to accept staff recommendations and advancement of the preliminary plan to the final plat stage. All those in favor, aye. Aye. Likewise for no. Motion carries. Thank you very much. That's the end of preliminary final plan approvals. We'll move to final plat determination. We have two of those. The first is Whispering Pines.
Yes, this is a request for a final plat determination. The project is Whispering Pines Townhomes, Phase 4, lots 32 through 71. The file number is 2402-037. The developer is DR Acquisitions, LLC. The engineer is Fox and Associates. It is located in the Mill Creek District, map 10, parcel 50. This property is located on the south side of Middleway Pike, approximately 3,000 feet west of the intersection of Middleway Pike and 3 Run Road. This project proposes 40 townhome lots on 5.55 acres to be served by public water and sewer. At the April 15, 2019 Planning Commission meeting, the Planning Commission voted to approve a waiver to Article 8, Section 801, Table 8-1A8 of the Berkeley County Subdivision Ordinance 2009, requiring a minimum of 1 parking space per attached dwelling unit to be off-site. On April 3, 2024, County Engineer Doug Smith reviewed the project and found it to be in compliance with the Berkeley County Subdivision Ordinance 2009. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends final plat determination and advertising of a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the May 20th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting.
Anyone to represent the projects?
Steve Sianovich representing the applicant. I would like to add that this is the final section or phase of the Whispering Pines development.
So it's the final one.
It is-
I think I ask this question every time this comes before. Is there another exit or entrance off of Giles Road into this, or is it all off of 51? All of 51?
Well, no, if you- off of Giles Mill Road, that's the main entrance. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm confusing myself here. Macaulay Crossing. There's 2 entrances on
51.
51. Or is it 3 on 51? Yeah.
That one Scotch pine or whatever that was
Oh,
already
yeah.
existing.
That was the original.
This preliminary plat, I want to say, was originally an 06 number, and then we did a plan change, so it was literally 18 years ago. This was originally contemplated.
Thanks, Steve. Planning Commission members, do you have any other questions for Steve on this project? Not, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion, we accept staff recommendation, final plat meets the requirements of subdivision ordinance. Therefore, final plat, be determination advertising for a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the May 2024 Planning Commission meeting.
Second.
Okay, have a motion by Mr. Gann, a second by Mr. Goff to accept staff recommendations for final plat determination and advertising of public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the May 20th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting. All those in favor, aye. Aye. Likewise for no. Motion carries. Thank you. That is the end of final plat determination. The last item is final plat approval, replat. Potomac Overlook.
We actually.
No, I'm sorry, Arcadia Springs. I missed
Yes.
one.
We have a request for final plat determination. The project is Arcadia Springs North, Section 1, Phase 12, lots 153 through 157, 175 through 205, and 33. The file number is 2402-050. The developer is Monarch Development Group Incorporated. The engineer is Gordon. It's located in the Arden District Map 12, Parcel 29.3. The property is located on Van Clevesville Road, approximately 2,000 feet east of its intersection with Needy Road. The developer is proposing 39 single-family detached lots on approximately 14 acres to be served by public water and sewer. At the July 1st, 2019 Planning Commission meeting, the developer was granted waivers to Section 305.4.1, Article 2, Section 201, Townhome Definition, Article 5, Section 504.E, Table 5.3, and Article 8, Section 801, Table 8-1A of the Subdivision Ordinance 2009. At the September 16, 2019 Planning Commission meeting, the developer was granted an exception to Section 705.1 to not install sidewalks along Van Clevesville Road. On April 4th, 2024, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the project compliant with the Subdivision Ordinance 2009. The final plat meets the requirements of the Subdivision Ordinance 2009. Therefore, staff recommends final plat determination and advertising of a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the May 20th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting.
You have anyone to represent the project?
Lynch Christian representing the developer.
Planning Commission members, does anyone have any questions on this project or comments?
There are no questions. I'll make a motion. We accept staff recommendation. Final plat meets the requirements of subdivision ordinance 2009. Therefore, staff recommends final plat determination, advertising, and public hearing for consideration of final plat approval in May 2024 Planning Commission meeting.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Gann and a second by Mr. Goff for accepting staff recommendations for final plat determination and advertising of the public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the May 20th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Likewise for no. Motion carries. Thank you. Now, final replat approval.
This is a request for replat approval. The project is Potomac Overlook Phase 1, Lots 4 and 38. The file number is 2403-054. The developer is Potomac Rock Estates, LLC. The engineer is Fox and Associates. It's located in the Falling Waters District, Map 8, Parcel 66. This site is located at the end of Tess Circle in the Potomac Overlook subdivision. The developer is proposing the creation of Lot 38, 1.71 acres, and the replat of Lot 4, 1.15 acres, to be served by private well and existing community sewer system. The replat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends replat approval. The infrastructure associated with these lots has previously been installed and no further public improvements are required.
Do you have anyone to represent the project?
Steve Sianovich representing the applicant.
Thanks, Steve. Planning Commission members, do you have any questions or comments for Steve on Potomac Overlook?
There are none. I'll make the motion. We accept staff recommendation. Replat meets requirements of subdivision ordinance. Therefore, staff recommends replat approval with infrastructure associated with these lots have previously been installed with no further public improvements required.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gann, a second by Mr. Goff to accept staff recommendations for replat approval. All members in favor, aye? Aye. Likewise for no. Motion carries. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks. Have a good evening.
Yep, you too. Thanks. Staff or council, any discussions? I did see a memo today, a couple of public hearings coming up in May,
Well, it's not necessarily a public hearing, but it's a public meeting.
meetings.
What kind of commission wanted to set up. It's basically a open discussion. Attachments are like and best documents.
One's a morning session and one's an afternoon
The
session.
7th is the morning and then the 9th, which is the Thursday, is afternoon. I asked that developers at least give comments or questions that they have because definitely know how long documents are. So if we think specific things, it's just 2, 3, 4 hour meetings.
When did you send that out?
I sent it out earlier today.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
It'll come.
I don't know. I'm looking. I didn't check my emails today.
County Commission will have to have 2 public hearings. They'll have those side.
I never got the email. I didn't get
Let me
copy.
make sure that, let me give Sarah.
And how will this dovetail with looking forward to the comprehensive plan redo? We talked about that a month ago, putting that on the horizon.
So, yeah,
What's that
so
process?
Brian and I met with Gary. I think they want to start thinking about recipe that.
No way for.
Yeah, for sure.
That's as far as that's going.
Yeah. Just think that'll be related to the subdivision process.
I think that like we're not gonna wait to update or something. So date or amendment. Able to speak.
Did see where the governor made a trip to Berkeley County and going to take care of some issues out Ron Truitt's way or on Route 9.
So we heard.
Bad. I'll tell you what, it was wall to wall. I should have took a picture. I showed you guys today when we got coming in today. It was from the post office all the way down past the development, almost down to the. Yes.
Yeah, that's what he saw. That's the opposite.
In the morning, it's the opposite way. In the evening, when the moms are all out at the elementary school, parked along the road, and even stop in the middle of 9, wait to try to get in. It's unbelievable.
I don't want to burst your bubble, but that was 51 in Inwood in the early 80s. And it took us how many years to get roundabouts to get something around Inwood, so.
But it's, everybody made fun of it, but it does seem like.
Oh, it works.
100%.
It works really well.
I mean,
Took people a while to figure them out, but.
Yeah.
I got ready a couple times.
Yeah, people need to
Now, if they
learn.
just won't go 70 miles per hour through there.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do? I thought it was
I mean, you
65.
saw the high-speed chase on Harvard Road over the weekend, right, last week.
I
Nah, I missed that.
And somebody in a Charger, 100,
Wow.
he went past the deputy sheriff on 81.
Yeah, that's all that.
I'm not gonna tell you how fast I was going in my truck, though.
Okay, does anyone else have anything else they want to speak with tonight?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Gant, and a second by Mr. Truitt to adjourn the meeting at 6:25.